listening MCQ, a super problematic issues for a lot of students. So we're going to try to solve all the problem you have with the MCQ so that you can get correct at least 90%, 95%, sometimes 100%. So that is the aim of this class. So let's go and do that. First thing first, what you really need to do to get the all correct. So generally students miss the answer for one main reason: they can't really read and understand all the questions in the given time. So can you write in the comment section how much time will you get to read all the questions? Some student will going to say maybe 30 seconds, some will gonna say 60 seconds, but if you research properly from the Cambridge, then you will see it is actually in around 100 seconds. See, when you finish your part 2, they're gonna give you some time. Now it's time to check your answers, maybe for 30 seconds, right? And after that, they're going to describe about the part 3. So again, they're going to take like in around 30 seconds. Then again, they're going to give you some time. Now you have some time to look at the question from 21 to 25 or 26. Another 30 seconds out there. And they also take break in between. That is in around 10 seconds. So in around 100 seconds, that's the time you will get. Now you need to judge, okay, if 100 seconds I gonna get for 5 to 6 questions, how much time you will get for each one? For each question, how much time you will going to get? So generally, you should be able to read and understand the question under 20 seconds so that you will not going to have the problem. So at home, you need to try, okay, how much time I'm gonna need to read and understand. See, there is a difference, clear difference between just reading and understand that. There's a clear difference. You just read it, you don't understand anything. That's not your job. So you need to read and you need to understand. You can take, for some student it is going to take 60 seconds, even can be more, like 100 seconds just for one question, 30 seconds for one question. So doesn't matter, whatever the time you need to bring it back. Like I need to complete it under 20 seconds. So you need to be a quick reader. We're gonna have like another video for quick reader, how can you be. All right, let's go and do that. So I will try to do in the right way. In one side of the screen I'm going to have the things you need to do. In another side of the screen I'm going to have the question. That will going to help you. All right, so the first point you can look at, achieve the capability to understand under 20 seconds. So that's your first thing. So you try at home, how much time do you really need to understand a question? Maybe it can be 60, 70, 80 seconds. You need to have the capability to read and understand the question under 20 seconds. So that you need to do. That's the first. Then again, 2 person will have the conversation, sometimes 3, but generally 2 person will going to have the conversation. 1 or twice there will be another person, but if there is a third person will just help the conversation to continue. So again, the 2 person will going to give you the answer. So 2 person, like here, there is one person is Clary, another person is Jake, right? Jack or Jake, whatever they say, that Clary and Jack. So there's the 2 person you're going to have for this conversation. Identify who will give you the answer. Or say for this answer, Clary will going to give you the answer, right? For this one, Clary will going to give you the answer. So let's mark that. So for this one, Clary, for this one, Jack, and number 23. So do they agree? Means both will going to give you the answer. Means one person will give you the answer, another person will going to agree. And then number 24, what question do they decide? So again, they means one person will going to give you the answer and another person will going to agree, and third one is Clary. We can see here for this one, Clary is a little bit more important than the Jack. So when we're going to solve this one for this specific MCQ, we're going to give a little bit more value to the Clary. Okay, so that's final. You need to understand which person will going to be important for you. Done. Okay, may I mark the starting point? Then the next job for you, you need to understand the starting point. It is very important for the student. They don't understand the starting point. Why starting point is important? Starting point is super important. Why is that? It's mainly because if you don't know when they start, because sometimes I have seen that sometimes for the student, they finish 21, they don't understand, okay, when the 22 will going to start. Sometimes in the middle portion they maybe have talked about this question number 22, they have maybe talked about like already half portion out there, maybe sometimes they have answered it, then you understand, okay, this is now they are talking about the 22. So if that happen, this will not going to help you. You need to understand when they, okay, this is the time they will going to talk about the number 22. So you need to understand the starting point. Okay, when they will give me the number 22, so when you are listening to them, you need to understand, okay, this is the time for me to look for number 22, this is the time for me to look for number 23. For this you need to have the starting point. So in the question they will help you to understand the starting point. Let's go, like for this one 21, if you read the question, you will see 12 science class. They need to say this because they can't say like 11th science class, they can't say other classes, they need to say 12 science class, right? So when you will listen to them and they're saying like 12 science class, these are the words, they will not paraphrase it. So when you listen to this, you can understand, okay, this is the time I'm going to listen for number 21. Like for 22, children died. So when you listen that word, that phrase is children's died, these two words, then you'll understand, okay, this is the time for number 22. And then number 23, animals. See, when they're going to talk about the animals, they need to mention this word animal. So animal word will going to indicate you this is the time for me to look for number 23. And number 24, experiment, you can say they need to talk about the experiment. And number 25 again, experiment. So these are the words will going to indicate you this is the time for you 21, 22, 23, 24. Done. So mark the starting point. That's your fourth job. Finally, mark 1 to 3 words maximum, and mark those words that really matters to you. Don't mark all the words. It's very important because see, as a human brain, you cannot read everything and remember everything. So the problem students face, they generally try to remember everything, they also try to match everything. You don't want to do that. You don't want to match everything. That's not your job. And if you want to match everything, if you want to remember everything, you will not remember anything, I'm telling you. So you need to understand what I really need to remember. You mark those words. You don't want to mark like 4 words for per information, or there is some options, right? So if you mark like 3, 4, 5 words for the options, for the single option, then 3 options you will need to mark like 10, 12, 15 words, and you will not gonna remember anything. So try to mark 1, 2, 3 words. Try to mark 1 or 2 words. Sometimes 1 or 2 words will not going to work, then 3, but most of the time just try to mark 1 to 2 words for the question and for the options. So per option you don't want to mark maybe in around 5 to 6 words, not more than that. Maximum it should be under 10. It cannot go more than 10, maybe like for the 3 options you can add per options 2 words, 6 words, and for the question 2 words maybe. Done. Under 10, it needs to be under 10. So I'm going to show you what matters. If you read the first question, see, how does Clary feel? So here for this question you are looking for the feelings of Clary, nothing else. You are looking for feelings. Feel. How does Clary feel about the student in her year 12 science class? So when you will going to answer this question 21, we are looking for the feelings of the Clary. Okay, so when you go to the number 1, number A, worried about that they are making progress, challenged by their poor behavior, frustrated at their lack of interest in the subject. To see, worried, challenged, frustrated, these are the words really mean the same thing. When you are worried, challenged, these all are the negative words, this really mean the same things. So what matters here? Worried about that they are not making progresses, right? That's on, they are not making progress. It's a feeling of her, right? They're not making progresses. Another thing is poor behavior, right? Poor behavior. She had a feeling about their poor behavior. And then frustrated about the lack of interest. So lack of interest, right? So see, you can also don't need to let me show you one thing. See, look at it. They are not making progress, poor, lack. See, all of the things are negative here. So you can also just ignore this negativity, right? So you can just talk about the, okay, when I'm gonna look for progress, I'm gonna look for behavior, I'm gonna look for interest. Done. These are the 3 things you are looking for. 1, how does Clary feel about the students in her 12 science class? So when you will listen for this question and to answer it, you are looking for, okay, is it about the progress? Is it about the behavior? Is it about the interest about that subject? Done. Let's do it for 22. Okay, how does Jake react to Clary's suggestion? So here in this question we are looking for a reaction from the Jake. So in answering this question, like in the 21, when 21 answering, you are listening to the Clary more carefully, but when answering 22, you are listening to Jake more carefully. How does Jake to Clary, how does Jake to Clary's suggestion about an experiment based on children died? Okay, so when you listen to the children died, you will start listening for that. First option, he is concerned that the results might not be meaningful. Concerned, result might not be meaningful. See, and then he feels some of the data might be difficult to obtain. He suspects that the conclusion might be upsetting. Now we can mark it and mark it properly. How can we mark it? See, so he's concerned, see, he feels, he suspects. These all are same thing, right? He concerned, he feels, he suspect. So here we are looking for Jack reaction. Did the Jack react about the result, right? That we are looking for. Did the Jack react about the data? That's what we are looking for. Did the Jack react for the conclusion? What Jack really react for? Is it for result? Is it for that data, or is it for conclusion? See, now things are becoming easier for you, very clear to you what you are looking for. In 23, what problem? So you are looking for problem here. Do they agree? Maybe involved in an experiment involving animals. So both will going to give you the answer. One will give you the answer, another one will give you the confirmation of that answer. Any result may not apply to humans. Any result may not apply to humans. It may be complicated to get permission, so may not apply to humans. To the humans, problem. What is the problem? Not apply to human. Not apply to human. I got it wrong. Not apply to human. Not apply to human. Not apply humans. It may be complicated to get permission. They are having problem with the permission. What is the problem? You're looking for a problem. Is it the problem to apply to the humans? Is it the problem to the permission, or is it the problem they are not happy? Because you are talking about the animal ultimately. So three things you are looking for to answer 23. You are looking for a problem. Is it not apply humans to humans? Is it for the permission, or is it they are not happy? What is the problem out there? All right, number 24. What question do they decide? So question, you are looking for a question here. You're looking for a question here, like they have provide questions mark after every option. Are mice capable of controlling their food intake? So what question? So controlling food intake, is it what they will going to address? Controlling food intake. What does an increase in sugar lead to health problems? So sugar health problems. So is that the question that they will going to address? Sugar related to the health problems. How much do supplements of different kinds health affect? Different kinds affect health, right? So you are looking for here a question, okay, what they will going to address, what question they will going to address, right? So one is controlling food intake. Is that they're going to address, or they're going to address about sugar and health problems, or they're going to address the supplements of health effect? Number 25. Clary might also consider doing another experiment involving another. So you're looking for another experiment. One experiment is done, right? This one is one experiment, it is done, and you are looking for another experiment. So Clary, you are listening to the Clary most carefully here. Okay, other types of food supplements. So is it about the food supplement? So what will be her another experiment? Will it be about the food supplement? Will it be about genetic strains? Will it be about the exercise? What it will be about? Will it be about the food supplement, or genetic strains, or the exercise? You don't need anything else. Maybe you will read everything, but when you listen, think about it. When you listen, you cannot really match everything. Or read about that they are not challenged by the poor. No, you cannot do everything. You cannot match everything. Now things are very clear to you. Like how does Clary feel? Did she feel about the progress? Did she feel about the behavior or the interest? Jack react about what? Results, data, or conclusion? Problem, what does animal like problems? What kind of problems they will gonna face when the experimenting animals? So one problem they're giving, not apply to humans. So the things that can apply to the animals, it cannot be applied to the humans. Next, are they facing problem about taking permission? Are they facing problem like animals, students? The students may not be happy, not them, students. So happiness, is it the problem? Happiness is the problem or not? And then number 24, the question they will going to address. One is controlling food intake. Is it about controlling food intake, or is it about sugar and health problems, or is it about supplements affect health? And then number 25, Clary will going to do another experiment. Is it about food supplement, genetic strains, or exercise? Now questions are very clear to you. You need to listen. Okay, when you listen, then you need to remember or keep on mind something else too. Let's go and do that. Okay? Here, if you look into here, see, only 1 to 2 options will be described, not 3. 90% cases, only 1 to 2 options. Generally 2 options will going to describe. Student, whenever I ask them how many options they are going to describe, generally they say 3. No, there are 5 questions here, right? We will going to solve. You will see like maybe 4 questions they will going to just describe 2 options. Only 1 maybe they will going to describe 3, even sometimes not that. So they will not going to describe all 3 options. They will just going to describe 1 to 2 options. In general, 2 options. Now by using look for, we're going to look at it by using look for. See, look for options section, they will either confirm or eliminate the option. So that's why we are facing problem, because they describe the option, we understand that, okay, now they are talking about this, now they are talking about this, or now they are talking about this option. We can understand that. But the problem is when they confirm or when they eliminate, we don't understand that, because they just confirm or eliminate with the simple thing, with these three types of thing. One, yes types of word. Yes types of word means yes, yeah, alright, right. These are yes types of word. No types of word. No, not really, I don't think so. No types of word. And then not and, sorry, but. Okay, so these are the three types of word they will going to describe, or they will going to confirm or eliminate with. Okay, yes type of word, no type of word, but. So when you're going to listen, you need to do two things. One, you will just match. These are the things about the feelings, progress, behavior, interest, results, data, conclusion, not apply, humans, permission, notice. These are the things you're going to try to listen, and then you need to understand, okay, either they will confirm or they will eliminate, and they're going to eliminate with the yes type of word, no type of word, and after that finally but. These are the three types of word we're going to play the role. Now I am going to give you some time and play the audio to solve it, and after that we will research the script and try to match the things we have learned. Did that really work or not, or how can you make it better? Okay, so let's go and try it. Good luck for some seconds or some minutes. Okay, let's go and do it. I'm going to come back after the audio.
Part 3, you will hear a trainee science teacher called Claire talking about her practical teaching work to another trainee called Jake. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
Hi, Jake. How are you getting on with the practical teaching?
It's harder than I expected, but I've got some great classes. How about you?
Not brilliant. I'm really struggling with my Year 12 science class.
Are they hard to control?
Well, I don't have discipline problems as such. It's just that they don't seem to think that science has anything to do with their lives. It's depressing. They listen to what I say, and I gave them a test last week, and the results weren't too bad, but there's no real engagement.
Right.
And as part of my teaching practice, I have to design an experiment for them to do. I was wondering about something on the children's diets. You know, asking them to record what they eat and maybe linking it to their state of health.
Let's think. So your methodology would involve the children recording what they eat, okay, but you'd also need to have access to the children's medical records, and I don't think people would be happy about that. Confidentiality would be an issue. If you could get the right data, the conclusions might be significant, but I suspect it's not going to be easy.
Right.
Have you thought about doing an experiment using animals?
Wouldn't that be upsetting for the children?
Well, the animals don't have to be harmed in any way. It could just be an experiment where they're given a certain diet and the effects are observed.
Would I have to get permission to use animals?
Yes. You'd have to submit an outline of the experiment and fill in a form, but it's quite straightforward.
But if we found out that, say, a particular diet affects the health of animals, the same thing wouldn't necessarily be true for people, would it?
No, that's true. But the findings for any experiment are going to be limited. It's inevitable.
I suppose so. So what animals could I use to investigate the effects of diet? Mice?
Yes. You'd need experimental mice, ones that have been specially bred for experiments. OK, so what will your experiment be investigating exactly?
Well, something to do with nutrition. So maybe we could look at food supplements, things like extra iron and extra protein, and their impact on health.
That might be rather broad. Maybe just look at the effects of one supplement, like sugar, on the health of the mice.
In fact, maybe the focus could be on whether mice can control their own diet.
So what happens when they have access to more sugar that they don't really need?
Exactly. Do they eat it, or do they decide to leave it?
Great. Then later on you could do a follow-up experiment adding another variable. Like you could give some of the mice the chance to be more active, running on a wheel or something, and the others just sit around and don't do much.
Or I could repeat the experiment but change the type of food I provided, or use mice with a different genetic structure. But I think your idea would be more interesting. I might think about that some more.
Alright, so let's check the answers, and it's also the script. Research the script. Let's do that. Okay, let's go and research the script. Here is the script in the right side of the screen. You can see, and also confirm the answer. Let's go and do that.
Now listen carefully carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
Hi, Jake. How are you getting on with the practical teaching?
It's harder than I expected, but I've got some great classes. How about you?
Not brilliant. I'm really struggling with my Year 12 science class.
Year 12 science class. That's what he have mentioned here. 12 science class. Okay, so now you understand. Okay, now my 21 answer will gonna be near. Okay, let's go and do that.
Are they hard to control?
Well, I don't have discipline problems as such. It's just that they don't seem to think that science has anything to do with their lives. It's depressing.
Right? Depressing. It's depressing. What is depressing with? Just they don't have seem to think that science has anything to do with their lives because they lack interest, right? They don't understand science has anything to do with their lives. It's depressing. It's frustrated, right? Answer C. See, they have discussed about this one only. And then they have also discussed another option. Let's go and listen that.
They listen to what I say, and I gave them a test last week, and the results weren't too bad.
The results are not too bad. Means here saying they are not progressing. Actually, they are progressing. So this is the elimination. This is the elimination. Now go.
But there's no real engagement.
Right.
Right. See, they have used the yes types of word. Right. All right. So that's how it happened. Next one. Let's go. So when we're gonna say children's diet, we're gonna understand. Okay, this is the time for number 22. Let's go.
And as part of my teaching practice, I have to design an experiment for them to do. I was wondering about something on the children's diets. You know,
children's diet. See? So now you understand. I am very near. You answered 22. Let's go into that.
Asking them to record what they eat and maybe linking it to their state of health.
Let's think. So your methodology would involve the children recording what they eat, okay, but you'd also need to have access to the children's medical records, and I don't think people would be happy about that.
All right. Data, records. They're talking about the records. So data. So you need to look for data here. Okay, let's listen to it a little bit again.
Recording what they eat, okay, but you'd also need to have access to the children's medical records, and I don't think people would be happy about that.
Right? People would be happy about that. So records, medical records, and they see what they did. They started with yes types word. They started with the but. Okay, yes types word but. All right, and then they're talking about the records. They're talking about the data here. Okay, let's go and listen more. Answer will be B.
Confidentiality would be an issue. If you could get the right data, the conclusions might be significant, but I suspect it's not going to be easy.
So it's not going to be easy. Means conclusion will not going to be easy. Conclusion might be get significant. So if you get the right data, then the conclusion get be significant. That's the reason conclusion answer will gonna be eliminated. So see, they didn't even talk about the result, right? Only two options. Okay, let's move forward and search for 23.
Right.
Have you thought about doing an experiment using animals?
Wouldn't that be upsetting for the children?
See, animals. When you listen the word animals, now you know, okay, this is the time for 23. Okay, let's go and do that.
Well, the animals don't have to be harmed in any way. It could just be an experiment where they're given a certain diet and the effects are observed.
Would I have to get permission to use animals?
Yes, you'd have to submit an outline of the experiment and fill in a form, but it's quite straightforward.
See, so they started talking with the permission, right? They started talking about the permission, but they said it quite straightforward. Quite straightforward means they eliminated that. But here you see, before they eliminated, they use the word but. Yes types word, no types word, finally but. All right. Okay. Now let's move forward. Now you know this is eliminated, right? This is quite straightforward. So number B eliminated. Now you have A and C. Not apply humans and not be happy.
But if we found out that, say, a particular diet affects the health of animals, the same thing wouldn't necessarily be true for people, would it?
No, that's true.
Right? No, that's true. No types word. So you cannot, the same thing would not necessarily be true for people. Would it? No. All right. So not apply to the humans will be the answer. All right. Let's go and do this for 24.
But the findings for any experiment are going to be limited. It's inevitable.
I suppose so. So what animals could I use to investigate the effects of diet? Mice?
Yes, you'd need experimental mice.
See, experimental. Here is experiment. They're saying experimental, right? So now you know it's time for 24. Let's go into that.
Ones that have been specially bred for experiments. Okay, so What will your experiment be investigating exactly?
Well, something to do with nutrition. So maybe we could look at food supplements, things like extra iron and extra protein, and their impact on health.
That might be...
See? So first they're talking about the food supplement. So supplement, see, food supplement. So you need to see, because they need to agree, right? They both need to agree. So you need to see what that talks. So first they started talking about number C. Okay, let's go and listen more.
With nutrition. So maybe we could look at food supplements, things like extra iron and extra protein, and their impact on health.
That might be rather broad. Maybe just look at...
That might be rather broad, so they don't want to do that. They eliminated the supplement. Okay, let's go.
The effects of one supplement, like sugar, on the health of the mice.
The sugar on the health of the mice. So now they are talking about sugar health, right? Sugar health problem. So now you need to see, okay, did 𝐋𝐢𝐳𝐬𝐬, the woman, did she agree with this or not?
In fact, maybe the focus could be on whether mice can control their own diet.
So what happens when they have access to more sugar that they don't really need?
Exactly.
So see, they have talked about both, but finally they agreed with this one. Mice can control their own diet or not. So the answer will be A. So see, most of the cases, 21, 22, 23, for first three, sometimes they discuss about just one, didn't discuss other one at all, and for two questions they discuss about two options, they didn't discuss third option. In 24, only for one question they discuss about three options. They eliminated first two and the final one became the answer. Okay, number 25.
Do they eat it or do they decide to leave it?
Great. Then later on you could do a follow-up experiment adding another variable. Like you could give some of the mice the chance to be more active, running on a wheel or something, and the others just sit around and don't do much.
Or I could repeat the experiment but change...
See, here Jack said about the exercise, right? Jack talked about the exercise, like more active, running, wheel or something, right? Talking about the exercise. And Clary talking about something else. Listen to it.
The type of food I provided.
The type of food I provided, right? A food supplement, kinda. So she's talking about that. Now listen to him. Now listen to her.
Or use mice with a different genetic structure. But I think your idea would be more interesting.
Right? But I think your idea is more interesting. So what Jack give the idea about the exercise? So number C will be the answer. So see, the things I have taught you here, those are the things you need to be just concerned. First thing first, achieve the capability to understand under 20 seconds. Okay, before I go there, I really want to show you something else, a little bit more. Before every answer, see, this is the first answer, right? This is the first answer. Look at it. This is the first answer. And they started with like I don't, negative words, right? And when they finished, they start with the positive word, yes types word. And here, when they started with children died. So you have seen that. And then okay, Bart, right? Yes types word, Bart. I want to change the color, right? Yes types word, no types word, right? And then yes types word, Bart. Every answer, Bart, see, Bart. And then when they finish it, no. Okay, when they started with yes type word. When they started, yes types word. When they finish it, yes types word. Okay, so these are the things will really play the role. Achieve the capability to understand under 20 seconds is very important. If it is 60 seconds or more than that, try to decrease it under 20. Then you know that two person will going to talk, so try to understand who will going to give you the answer, and then identify who will going to give you the answer. Mark the starting point. You know that starting point is a very important, super important for you. If you don't understand the starting point, like here the starting point was a 12 science class, a children diets, and then third starting point, sorry I lost it, maybe no, animals, and then right here it was experimental, right? And in the final one it also had the like experiment. All right, so these are the things will play the role. And then mark 1 to 3 word, no, don't more than that. You have seen that when I have taught you, it is very quite straightforward. You just don't need to, you can't really remember everything. Like here you progress, behavior and interest, right? Reaction, about the result, data or conclusion. You have seen, if you just can mark that, it will be going to be very easy for you. Cannot remember everything, not apply to human permission, not be happy. And then the question was it about controlling, about food taking, sugar, health problem, or about the supplement or effect, like the last one too. And then only 1 to 2 options will be described. You will know that I have shown you, like only some cases they have described just 3 words. 3 options. Most of the cases they have described just 1 to 2 options. By using look for means yes type word, no types word, and but. If you can do that, things will become very easier for you. Confirmation, elimination, these are the things. So if you do in this manner, it will become easier for you to get the most out of your MCQ. All right, thank you very much. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Goodbye.